This morning on NBC 26 Today, President Trump declaring victory over the presidential election, breaking down the numbers on his road to the White House. Plus, a look at the race between Senator Tammy Baldwin and Eric Hovde right here in Wisconsin. And another big race for representatives in the 8th and 6th congressional districts, who took home the votes and how each party is feeling.
Good morning. It is 6:30 this Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Lauren Larson, and it is a cloudy start to our day for most of us. And we're seeing a couple of showers rolling through Manitowoc County this morning, so you might need those windshield wipers a little bit. But overall, most of this system has cleared out of the state, really out of the Midwest, and we are expecting a couple of dry days throughout northeast Wisconsin. A live look outside over College Avenue. Obviously, the sun has come up. There isn't a lot of sunshine out there. Gray skies right now, and then we do see those cars driving with headlights on this morning because we are seeing a decrease in visibility as well. A cloudy start this morning, temperatures in the upper 40s, and later this afternoon only a couple degrees warmer into the low 50s. Eventually we'll start to see a little bit of sunshine, and then there is more sunshine in store for us later this week.
Well, good morning and thank you for joining us this Wednesday. I'm McLeod Hageman. President Donald Trump is declaring victory in the race for the White House. Most outlets, including our parent company Scripps, have already declared Trump as the winner. NBC's Jay Gray joins us from Battleground State, Pennsylvania with the very latest. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning, and as the counting continues here in Pennsylvania and across the country right now, we have heard from former President Donald Trump, who at this point in the early morning appears poised to take the White House once again. Taking the stage with his family, with key staff, with running mate J.D. Vance, Donald Trump has declared victory in the 2024 presidential race. During a speech early this morning to supporters who remain gathered in his Palm Beach victory rally, he described this as and I'm quoting here, huge win for democracy, the greatest political movement of all time. We watched as early on the vote seemed to fall the former president's way, and then early this morning, the key swing states of Georgia, North Carolina, and then Pennsylvania, all called by NBC News for the former president. Again, it would appear at this point that Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States, and we have not heard early this morning, from Vice President Kamala Harris. We have been told by her campaign that she intends to speak a bit later today. That's the latest right now here in Pennsylvania. I'm Jay Gray. Back to you.
All right, Jay, thanks so much. And taking a look at the latest numbers into our newsroom across the state of Wisconsin for this morning, you can see President Donald Trump edging out Vice President Kamala Harris here by nearly 45,000 votes. Now, if we take a look back 4 years ago, when President Biden was facing off against former President Donald Trump, you can see Biden edging out Trump there by nearly 20,000 votes. So a very different scene as we are waking up for this morning. And moving on to Wisconsin's 6th congressional district for this morning, we have Mr. Grothman there edging out John Sorbano from Oshkosh there with 92,000 votes. Quite a big race there. Moving on to Wisconsin's 8th congressional district that was vacated by Mr. Gallagher there too. We have Trump-endorsed candidate Tony Weed beating out Dr. Kristen Lyerly, 57.4%. As you can see there, 56,000 votes behind Tony Weed there from Dr. Kristen Lyerly. Now, Wisconsin's Senate race, this is a very close race that we're going to be watching across the state of Wisconsin here. Now, Senator Tammy Baldwin has already declared victory. You can see here 49.2% of the vote here at this point. Eric Hovde there at 48.7%, just 13,000 votes there. Too soon to tell whether there is going to be a recount whatsoever, but that is a big race that we've been watching here in Green Bay and really across the nation here as well. Now, moving on to the presidential race, or moving back to the presidential race, you can see here in some of our metro areas, no surprise there, most people voting in favor of Vice President Kamala Harris. But if we move up to northeast Wisconsin in Green Bay, that was not the case whatsoever. In Brown County, Trump edged out Vice President Kamala Harris with nearly 11,000 votes. If we move up into Door County historically votes in favor of whichever president the country is going to be choosing. That was not the case this year. So we'll be watching that race moving forward in the coming years as well. We have also been watching a lot of the U.S. Senate race here, and Ben Jordan has been covering that. He joins us now with more.
It was an absolute marathon of a night here at Eric Hovde's watch party. It wasn't until after 2 a.m. that he came out to tell his supporters to go home as they wait on the absentee results from the city of Milwaukee.
It's Wisconsin, and we're waiting on Milwaukee to do a drop, and there are some other counties that will be favorable for us.
Throughout the night, Mr. Hovde's supporters tell me they were optimistic about the end result. Political experts tell me they think Mr. Hovde had a strong final 10 days on the campaign trail in an effort to convince the few undecided voters left that it's time for change. One of those supporters feeling the momentum is Richard Brown, a Milwaukee pastor. He says one issue in particular made Hovde his clear choice.
The economy, easy. The issue that I have, and I'm an independent voter, the issue that I have always is when people vote lockstep. That always bothers me, and especially when you know the right thing to do. And the economy really hurt the people we serve, the disenfranchised in the city of Milwaukee.
While supporters were told to go home, Mr. Hovde told them he plans to stay up throughout the morning until the race is called. Reporting in Madison, Ben Jordan.
Now to some insights on the race for representatives in the 8th Congressional District. Carl Winter joins us from the Legacy Hotel, where voters celebrated Republican Tony Weed's big win. Good morning, Carl.
Wisconsin's 8th Congressional District stays red, with businessman Tony Weed taking the victory over Democrat Dr. Kristen Lyerly and set to fill the seat vacated by Mike Gallagher in April. I'm Carl Winter at the Legacy Hotel with the atmosphere at the watch party for Weed's victory.
Finally, I'd like to thank President Trump. His support for me over this campaign is second to none.
Tony Weed rode an endorsement from President Trump to victory in a race with a tightly contested primary to a general election win he declared by 10 p.m. Tuesday. The former local gas station owner and his supporters celebrated keeping the seat in Republican hands, where it's been since 2011. Weed now turns his attention to Capitol Hill, where he says he'll have to quickly build a staff.
Well, it's like starting a new business. You know, you have to get in there. You have to make sure you hire people, put a lot of effort into surrounding yourself with very intelligent people to make sure that you're getting good advice. So that's step number one.
I also spoke with local Republican leaders who said they thought Weed would win, but said the overall energy from Northeast Wisconsin Republicans exceeded their expectations. Weed will now head to Washington, D.C., where he's set to be sworn in front of the House of Representatives on Tuesday. In Ashwaubenon, Carl Winter, NBC 26.
What started off as optimism leads to disappointment. I'm a Green Bay neighborhood reporter, Andrew Amuzu, with local reaction from Dr. Kristen Lyerly's loss in the 8th Congressional District race. A packed room of hopefuls had eyes glued to screens as results rolled in. In downtown Green Bay, Democratic leaders and supporters attended a watch party at Gather on Broadway Avenue for the presidential race and local races, including 8th Congressional District candidate Dr. Kristen Lyerly. She spoke early on, addressing the crowd and expressing gratitude towards supporters well before any indication of a winner. She eventually finished the night in Appleton, her supporters saying no matter what, a fair election was the biggest wish.
The election results that have been given to us by the voters, by the clerks, by the poll workers, those are results that we need to accept, and whatever they are, we then need to move on and create a country that's put back together again, where people are not angry at each other. We're all Americans, and we all move this country forward in the best way possible.
And many of the other candidates say no matter what happens in this election, win or lose, they say that their efforts towards more unity in Green Bay and across the region will continue beyond this election. In Green Bay, Andrew Amuzu, NBC 26.
Door County has accurately predicted the last 6 presidential elections, but that seems to have changed this year. Your Door County neighborhood reporter, Hannah Lopez, connected with voters.
Voters across Door County are ready for election season to be over. I'm your Door County neighborhood reporter, Hannah Lopez. I spoke with voters about what it means now that their ballots have been cast. In Sturgeon Bay, lines of voters wrapped around City Hall. Many excited to cast their ballots, others saying they're ready for this to be over. Sarah Hartwig says that after she cast her ballot, she was done with election season and the ads online.
Especially like on Facebook and phone calls, they can be done.
Stephanie Socek, the chair of the Republican Party of Door County, says that as election night was in full swing, members of the party were eager to continue watching the road to 270.
I mean, we're probably running on adrenaline right now, so maybe we'll stay a little late.
For election updates, make sure to check out our website at NBC26.com. In Door County, Hannah Lopez, NBC 26.
And now to some other local stories. Elijah Vu's caretaker will appear in court today for a preliminary hearing. Jesse Vang was the caretaker of 3-year-old Elijah Vu when he was first reported missing back in February. And police say he's the one who reported Elijah missing. Vang was originally charged with chronic neglect of a child, but not in relation to Elijah's disappearance. After the discovery of Elijah's remains in September, Vang was additionally charged with physical abuse of a child resulting in death, hiding a corpse, and resisting or obstructing an officer. Today's hearing is set for 2:30 p.m. at the Manitowoc County Courthouse. Also in our neighborhoods, the Friends of the Brown County Library's Big Book Sale is taking place this week at the Brown County Central Library in Green Bay. Organizers say this event is a book lover's dream, with gently used books for sale at a fraction of their original cost. Plus, all proceeds support the Brown County Library. Sale hours are 9 a.m. through 7:30 p.m. today and 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow.
We've had a couple gloomy days across northeast Wisconsin, some great inside reading weather. Now, yesterday we saw over an inch of rainfall in both Green Bay and Appleton. Those rainfall totals are a little bit less as we look towards the lakeshore and into our southern neighborhoods like Fond du Lac County. And there are a couple of stray showers across the area this morning. Our temperatures are in the mid 40s for most of us, getting a couple degrees warmer with our highs in the low 50s later this afternoon. I'll have a look at your neighborhood coming up after the break.